Okay, this is the homework for 5.5a. The first 8 problems, and we're only doing the odds, questions 1 through 8, I need to know, can you guys translate these? These are just a simple translation problem. Can you translate these into log forms? So number one says 10 to the negative 2 power is 0.01. How do you write that in log form? The log of 0.01. Now you don't need that base 10, and then equals negative 2. I want you to do 5, and I'm sorry, it's hard to read. It's 10 to the 7k power. 10 to the 7k power equals r. So it'd be the log of r base 10 equals 7k. Remember, a log is an exponent. The exponent in this problem is 7k. And number 7, how would you write that in log form? Whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. This is.
I did the same thing.
You did the same thing? Okay, fix it. Number 7, how would you write that in log form? Log 5,764,801 base what? 7 is equal to 8. Moving on, number 11. Now they want you to go from log form to exponential. So number 11, how do you translate log of 10,000 base what? Base 10 is equal to 4. So how would you write 11? 10 to the 4th power is 10,000, which it is. Number 13. Tell me what to write. 10 to the 2.8751 equals 750. Number 15. That's an easy one. What is it? 5 to the 3rd is equal to 125. And number 17. 2 to the negative 2 is equal to 1/4. Excellent. Okay, next. Now we're going to use our knowledge without using a calculator. And you may need to toggle back and forth from log to exponential to figure out what these are equal to. So look at 21. Number 21 says the log of 10 base what? 10 is equal to the square raised to the 10 root 43 power. I can't even talk. So if the base and the number are the same, we've got a power rule. You're going to bring this in front. What does this equal to right here? 1. So imagine this in front. What's the answer to 21? 21 is the square root of 43. Excellent. What is 23? Yeah, so it looks like a crazy problem, but as long as you know the rule that these two the base and this number are the same, that's your answer. So it's the square root of x squared plus y squared.
Can we just put x plus y?
Huh? It's the square root.
Yeah, 2 squared.
No.
Oh, right.
You're adding them, yes. You don't have, it's not a product. Good job. Number 25, what would you write here? So 25, I'm going to write 16 to what power is 4? What would that have to be? 1/2. So in other words, the square root. Yep. And one more. 27, we have, this is a harder one, log. And then you have 27. So what you're going to do here, you're going to write the square root of 3 is equal, for the x power, is equal to 27. So that's rewriting it. Now I want to get these in the same base. So I'm gonna make them both base 2. How would I write them in base 2? This is gonna be 3 to the 1/2 power to the x, and this is gonna be 3 cubed. So do you know what I do now? Cross out the 3's and you set up a little equation. 1/2 x equals 3. Set your two powers equal to each other. And now what's your answer? 6. Good so far? Okay, next. Number 29. Okay, they have a T-chart here they want you to fill out. And they give you an equation. In the equation, it's right here. It says y equals log of x base 4. Okay? Now what I would do is I would convert this to 4 to the y power is equal to x. And now they're giving you 4x values. You have to see if you can come up with the y value. So if I put a 0 right here, if I put a 0, well first of all, if I put a 0 here, what's the answer? Remember what I said you can't have in this spot? You can't have a 0 or a negative number. So for this one, it's no, you can't do that one. It's undefined. What if I put a 1 here for x? 4 to what power? 4 to what power is 1? 0. 0. How about 2? 4 to what power is 2? What would that have to be? A half. And the last one, 4 to what power is 4? What would y have to be? 1. Try the next one. 31. Okay, so they give you, for this next one, they give you, you've got 6 to the y power is x. 6 to the y power is x, if you convert this. 6 to the y power is x. Now, the question mark is for x here. If I put a negative 2 here, what's this question mark going to be? If I put a negative 2 here, so in other words, 6 to the negative 2 power is what? Isn't that 1 over 36? Now, what about in this one, they're giving you x is 1/6. So you have 6y equals 1/6. What would y have to be? Negative 1. Good job. How about if x is 1? If I had a 1 here, what would y have to be? 0. Ooh, this next one, 2/16. Is it 3? 6 to the 3rd power? Yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
Just imagine.
33. Okay, now see this 2? You can bring that back to what? Uh-huh.
Maybe 7
So
y
this would be
squared.
y equals the log of x squared base 7. Is it a 7? Yeah, it is a 7. So in other words, 7 to the y power is equal to x squared. So if we put a 0 here, what would that be? Can you put a 0 in this x spot right here? No, that's another undefined. How about if we put 1/7 here? So 7 to the y power is equal to 1/7, and then we have squared. What would be the y value that would make these two the same? Think about it. Think about a negative number. Negative 2. You get it? Negative 2? If that's a negative 2, then it's really 1 over 7 squared. that make sense? How about the next one? Put the square root of 7 here. So you have 7 to the y power is equal to the square root of 7 and then squared. Well, what's this equal to?
7.
7. So what would y have to be? 1. And the last one. 7 to the y power equals 49. 2. Okay.
Wait, why is it 49 squared?
Yeah, I want to do 49 squared.
Oh, yeah, you're right, 49 squared.
So would the y be 4?
49 squared. So this is 7 squared squared. So that's 7 to the 4th power, so what is it? Oops. What is it? It's a 4. It should be a 4. Thank you for catching that. Okay, I think we did enough of those.
I agree.
All right, let's go on to this next one, 37. Okay, we have this lovely graph here. And this graph has some points. It has 1, 0, 1, 0. It has 3, 1, and it has 9, 2. Okay, so they're asking you to find what base would that be if we wrote this. You can write it in log form, write it in exponential form. Let's translate it in exponential form. So b to the what power is equal to x. Does that make sense? B to the y power equals x. So what would b have to be if we're going to put a 9 and a 2 here. We're going to put a 3 and a 1 here. I'm sorry, a 3 here and a 1 here. Can you guess what b would be? So let's say we use this point right here. I'm going to put 3 in for x and 1 in for y. So in other words, b to the first power is going to give me a 3.
B equals 3.
B would have to be 3, right? Are you sure? Are you sure? Let's do another one. So let's make sure. So we would put a 9 here for x and a 2 here. So would b still be 3?
Mhm.
So you have b to the second power is equal to 9, and that would be 3. So b is 3. You figured, see that, understand it? Okay, good. We don't have to do 38. All right, next, these next 5, 6, actually, are only going to be dots. 41, 43, 45. Those are going to be 3. How do you solve these?
What is that other form?
Tell me. What is it?
3 to the x equals 243.
And what is it?
Tell me that.
I'm gonna guess 5.
You are right.
That's weird. Take my math test.
Just take a shot.
Now, if you have a calculator, what you could have done is typed in log of 343, or 243, sorry, divided by log of 3, and you'll get your answer. 5. That's one way of doing it. Okay, how do you do 43?
Can you explain that again? Log of what divided by what?
You do the change of base.
Oh, okay.
Log of 243 divided by log of 3. Or you type it into your calculator, the Inspire, you would type in log 243 base 3. You'll get 3. I'm sorry, 5. Why did I say 3? 5. Answer's 5. Okay, how about 43? How do you solve that one? 43. Translate it. How do you translate this?
27 to the 1/3 is equal.
What does 27 to the 1/3 power mean? What's the cube root of 27?
3.
Answer's 3. And how about 45? X, some number to the third is 64. Now what you could do to solve this is you could raise each of these to the 1/3 power. So do you know what the cube root of 64 is? Because that's what you're really doing, the cube root of 64, which is 4. Can I see a thumbs up? Are you guys getting this? Awesome, okay. I know this back page looks overwhelming, but it's really not. Okay, 47. Think about it. Condense it for me. Log, what is it? In the numerator, what are you gonna have?
X squared, y squared.
Over.
Z to the 6.
Yep, it was easy. What base is it? 10. Do we need to write that? No. 49. 49. Now, you've got a little bit of a problem here. You've got one subtraction and you've got these two addition. If you move this in front, do you know what you have on top? See, this is really in the numerator and so is this. So don't think of this, these are not both, if these were both minuses, these would be in the denominator. So on top, you're gonna have x and then x squared minus 9. In the bottom, you're gonna have x plus 3. Guess what's gonna cancel?
X plus 3.
Yep, so what's my answer? What's my final answer? X times x minus 3 over 1. You don't even have to have over 1. How's that?
Wait, so that goes on top?
Yes, these two go on top because they're both pluses.
Oh, I thought
That goes on the bottom.
that last one was on the bottom of it, or unless that's
No,
unless
if
there's
it were,
parentheses.
if I had this like this in parentheses,
Oh, okay.
then yeah, those two would go on the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. 51. What does 1/2 mean?
It's the closest to
What are you gonna do with this 1/2?
put it over there.
You're gonna take the square root, actually you're raising this to the 1/2 power, right? What does 1/2 mean?
Square root.
Square root. So what's the square root of 25c squared?
5c.
Yep. Base 2.
That's just the answer.
That's it. How about 53? What does that -2 mean? This is gonna be to the -2 power. What does that mean, -2 power?
1 over.
1 over
9 squared.
49c squared. Does that make sense?
Yep.
49c squared. And it's base 4. Sorry, you don't have a lot of room there. So it'd be the log, this -2 is a power, and you're gonna bring the whole thing down, squaring both of them. How about 55? We've got a 2 here and a minus sign, so what do you have? ln x plus 1 squared over x plus 2. And there's nothing you can do with that. There's nothing you can do with that. It's done. Okay, 57, I'm gonna write it out. 57, you have the log of base 2, you have 2x, and then minus 1. Okay, now, can you expand this for me for a second? Ignore that 1. Can you expand this? What is this?
Log 2, base 2, plus log x, base 2.
And the log of 2 base 2 is just 1.
That's equal to what? 1? What's your answer, guys?
Log
1
2x.
2 base 9.
Log of x base 2.
I meant that.
Yeah.
I just was like, the dyslexia part.
Okay, skip 50, don't worry about 59. I want you to go to 61. These are using your calculator. I want you to take your calculator and make sure you can use either calculator, the Inspire or the 83, because I don't know where your journey is after this class, if you're gonna have in front of you an Inspire, or if you're gonna have a, I don't want you to be left out in the cold if you don't have an Inspire, and then you get stuck with the 83, so.
What do you mean college?
Well, you're gonna be, let's say, in college,
Oh, okay.
and your professor's not gonna provide you with an Inspire, and so you, more than likely, you're probably gonna go buy one of these 83s or 84s, right? Some of you guys already have the 83 or 84, so instead of spending $200 on an Inspire, you got what you got. And your parents might say, you're lucky you got what you got. I'd probably tell my kid that. But what did you get for the first answer?
3.321.
So if you do it the old way, log of 10 divided by log of 2, you get 3.32. If you use the Inspire, I'm going to grab an Inspire. And okay, so you're going to type in log. Your log button is right here, right there. So you hit Control Log, and then your two prompts, you'd obviously type in a 2 here, and then arrow over to the 10, and then hit Enter to get 3 points, same answer. So how about number 63?
0.827.
7 and 5. Hit Enter. You get 0.827. You got that? And the last one, number 65. You've got log. You're going to type in 500 is your base, and 1,000 is your number, and hit Enter. What'd you get? Yep, those are your 3 answers for that one. And ladies and gentlemen, 69. Can you tell me the transformations from this to this? Let's see how smart we are. What do you do with this 3? You gotta take it out. Take that 3 out, and you're left with x minus what? 4/3. So what is your transformation? It is it a vertical or a horizontal? Is it a stretch or a compression by 1/3 or 3? What is it? It's a horizontal compression by 1/3. It's a horizontal compression by 1/3. And this is going to tell you it's 4/3 units to the right. Now, your domain depends on this piece right here. Your domain is going to be, x is going to be greater than 4/3, and your range is going to be all real numbers. So did everybody get that? It's a horizontal compression by 1/3, 4/3 units to the right, which means your domain, you're going to have an asymptote at x equals 4/3, okay? So you're going to have x is greater than 4/3, and your range is y is all real numbers. You have one more and you're done. 71. Tell me the transformations. Start with where? Right here. What's your transformation?
It's to the right 1.
Okay, so we're going to say 1 unit to the right, vertical compression
By 1/3.
by 1/3,
No, 7.
and 7 up. Now, can you tell me, see, this is going to be an asymptote. X equals 1 is an asymptote, so what's your domain going to be? X is going to be greater than 1, and your range is going to be all real numbers.
Yay.